right. Today is Thursday, August 7th, 2025. I'm going to say it's day 14 of my VO summer project, my 30-day VO summer project. Tuesday was supposed to be day 13, and it was day 13, but unexpected tech issues crept up. So I had decided to live stream my practice session on Tuesday evening at around, I don't know, it was like 7:30 at night. So I got up here, I got into the booth, I got all set up. It was on my schedule, so I was all planned for it. Got the live stream up and going. Everything was great. I was talking about progress and chit-chatting about all kinds of random things. And then all of a sudden, a message pops up on my computer screen that I am no longer connected to the internet. The internet just died in our house. I don't know if our router failed or I don't know what happened, but it went out for everybody in the house. And by the time the issue, whatever it was, got resolved and Wi-Fi was on again, I was just like, I'd lost momentum, I'd lost steam. I was just like, well, I'll call it a wash. But I had been productive, and I have been productive since then. One of the things that I was talking about is that my Skills Hub membership costs money every month. It's a monthly subscription service, and I have to make sure that I'm making it worth what I'm paying. So they offer all kinds of workout rooms, and I try to sign up for as many of those as I can. I also find other free classes that you can sit in on and audit, which is like you get to watch and listen and learn through observation, but you don't actually participate. I find those very interesting and useful to sit in on, and I've sat in on a lot of them through like NAVA, which is the National Association for Voice Actors, Hugh Klitz, who is a casting director and voiceover voice artist coach. I don't know where he's based, probably out in California, LA, maybe somewhere. I actually don't know. But he focuses on commercial work and coaching, and he has these free sessions that you can sit in on and watch an actual coaching session happen. That's really interesting. Mandy Fisher from, what's her organization called? Now I don't remember. Anyway, Mandy Fisher offers them. So good stuff, lots of good stuff. Let's see what else. So I've been scheduling lots of that. So it's rare that I go through a day that I don't have some sort of organized practice session or learning opportunity that I'm engaged with for an hour or more. Today's Thursday, right? Yesterday was Wednesday. What is time? Yesterday evening, I actually audited a 3-hour-long audiobook workout session through Leonardo Audio Studios, which is based down in Boston, in Massachusetts, which is where I am. And they had, they do like 2 every week. They are not free, so I did have to pay for that one. But because I only audited it, I paid a reduced price. And I had a guest coach come in who was an associate producer at Macmillan Audio. And it was fascinating. It was set up so that there were 12 participants, and they each brought a prepared piece. It was short, like 2 or 3 minutes, and they would read it. And then the associate producer from Macmillan would give them feedback, and then they would take that direction and do a second read and get like a final round of feedback with her, and then they would move on. So I'm like sitting here in the booth, scribbling notes as fast as I can for myself. It was 3 hours. It started at 6:45, so it went to 9:45. Went a little over that, honestly. But I am an early to bed, early to rise kind of gal. So by the end of it, I was like literally struggling to stay awake. But I was like, I paid for this. I can't just duck out early. But it was a gold mine for tips and tidbits and information. So I'm super glad that I did that. And then today, actually, at 1:00, I have my second ever coaching session, a one-on-one coaching session. The last one that I had was really early in this process. So I want to say like end of February, March sometime maybe. Not 100% sure. I don't really remember. I have a receipt for it, so I could look it up, but that's not the point. And that one, I was completely brand new to everything. And I just, at that point I was like, I can practice. I can read books out loud to myself, but I'm whistling in the dark here. Like, I don't know what I don't know. And I just need somebody who does know to listen and tell me, like, where is my starting line? Where are my skills as I embark upon this process? And what are some things that I should maybe focus on early on strengthening? So I think that was a very beneficial first coaching session. And it's been a few months, and I've been working pretty regularly. And I'm not just limiting myself to practicing reading for audiobooks, even though that is my primary interest and focus. In the Skills Hub organization, they have workout rooms that are for practicing commercial reading, characters, animation, scenes, video games, dubbing, all kinds of different things. And I try to get into as many of them as possible, even though, like, for example, I'm not a video gamer. And that is not an industry that I really have any interest in, because I don't really like video games. I don't play no video games, but it's super limited. And the other folks on Skills Hub who are into video games, they're into video games. And I'm like, that's great. You are excellently suited for cracking into this particular aspect of voiceover work. I am not. Play to your strengths. But I do it anyway because I feel like there's something to learn from everything. No matter how disparate the two things might seem, there's usually a connection, right? It's why NFL football players take ballet lessons, because there are things in ballet that they can bring into their performance on the field in football that actually improves their performance in football. Same idea. So I have a follow-up second coaching session with this same individual as a check-in, so that he can assess where I am now after a few months of going away and trying to improve. And I had to pre-record reading a 2 to 3 minute script and submit it to him so that he can listen to it ahead of time. I had to give him 2 MP3 files. One was the original recording with 0 processing, so not even normalized or anything like that. And then the same piece of audio, but processed, normalized with all of my plugins in Reaper, volume adjustments, yada, yada, yada. Oh, excuse me. And he's going to listen to both of them. He'll give me feedback on the performance aspect of what I gave to him and the audio engineering aspect of the raw MP3 file, which I already know he's going to be like, you got to turn up your gain. It was so quiet. I feel embarrassed ahead of time. I'm going to be like, don't judge me. I know. And then I hope he gives me some good tips on processing, because I don't love the way my audio is sounding right now after I process it. And I'm doing the best that I can with the plugins that I have. But I tell you, if you're not careful, you can drop a lot of money on software and plugins and stuff like that. And it's tempting, but it's also not the point, right? Performance skills first. It doesn't matter how good the sound is if the performance is hot garbage. It doesn't matter if the audio is clean sounding. Great, you gave us clean sounding garbage. Shiny poop. Yeah, so we're doing that. And then he'll have me, he's bringing a couple of scripts to that coaching session, probably just one, because it's only a 30-minute session, because I'm not made out of money and voiceover coaches are not cheap, which is why I let a few months go by before I did a second follow-up session. Anyway, he'll have me do some cold reads or first reads with him. Yeah, so I'm trying not to let nerves get the better of me, which is easier said than done. I'm not gonna do a practice read for this check-in. This is just gonna be a check-in because I'm doing that coaching session in the afternoon. But I have not posted anything on YouTube since Monday, because even though I tried on Tuesday, the internet glitched out and the universe stepped in and said, no, I will try again with the live streaming. But that was strike one. Yeah, so that's what's going on. I've recorded for my coaching session and listened back to it too many times. Too many times. And I am I'm going back and forth between, that's awful, I haven't gotten any better at all, to well, actually, that's not bad. That's okay. That's pretty okay, to no, it's not. It's terrible. But it's not that bad. Yeah. So I have been keeping up with daily progression, even though I haven't been keeping up with daily posts of that progression. On Tuesday, it wasn't my fault. Yesterday, I just decided not to because I had a lot of other things going on. Yeah, so that's where I am, and the project continues. In terms of forward progression with the project, I'm doing well. Regardless of how I feel about how my skills are coming along, I'm sticking to the project, and that is good. Because even when we feel like we are just grinding our wheels, or we're just running in place but not actually making any forward progress, the act of continuing to plug at it does help. It does. So I'm feeling good about the fact that I'm keeping up with the project, even if my confidence in myself and my development as a narrator waffles. I don't think that will ever not be the case, right? I think no matter how successful people get at something, unless you're kind of like an egotistical person, you probably always doubt your skills and abilities for your entire life, because we all human. Anyway, that's it. So I hope everybody else out there in the world is doing well, and enjoying your various creative endeavors. All right, I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.